welcome back to the channel. So today I have decided to do another James Turner challenge, and if you're not familiar with that, it is a generator online created by James Turner himself, and it gives all different kind of challenges for like create a sim, regular family homes, tiny homes, anything like that. So it is definitely fun to try if you're just looking for a challenge or you're just not sure what to build. I definitely recommend trying that out. You might like it, you never know. So for my challenge, I had to build here in Willow Creek, which is a base game world. I had to use no more than 75 tiles, and it had to be for an adult, 2 young adults, and 2 cats with a budget of 24,122 simoleons. And I had to use the lacquered up console, which is I think a desk table, but I just ended up using it and putting the TV on it in the living room. So getting into this build, you see I am working on the shell right now, and originally I was going to go for just a regular traditional style home, but when I seen I had to do 2 young adults, the movie Stepbrothers popped in my head. And if you haven't seen that, it's the movie with Will Ferrell and I cannot remember the other guy's name, but in the movie they go by Brandon and Dale, and their mother and father meet and they ended up getting married and they become stepbrothers. But in the movie, they're like 30 something and they still live at home. They don't have a job. They're kind of messy, kind of on the slobbish side. So I kind of wanted to reference that inside the home and how I decorated it. So on the first floor, there is the father's bedroom, the bathroom, the living room, and the kitchen, and the little area for the cats. And then upstairs is the room for the boys. And I was going to end up putting bunk beds in there because in the movie, if you've seen it, they try to make like their own bunk beds and it does not go well. So I was originally going to put that in there, but then I just decided to use up more space, put 2 separate beds in there. And it is very messy up there. There's like dirty dishes and there's just trash everywhere. So it was a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys enjoy. And I do end up using a lot of debug items. So I think at the end I ended up with like 54 simoleons or something left over. So anyway, right here, what I am doing now is I'm making a little kind of like a garage area. And what you see me do is I originally put like a square down, but if you delete the floor on the inside, it doesn't count it as a room. So originally you see my tile count go up, but when I deleted the floor, it went back down to 75 tiles. So that's something you could do if you're on a tile like limit or anything like that. Because I wanted to add a little kind of garage area because I was thinking that Dad was maybe like a mechanic, or he does just, random jobs around the town. So inside there is like a table, there's a TV he's working on, the hot water heater is out there, I think. So I just added a whole bunch of trash and just clutter to that. So yeah, I think it turned out really cute. So right now I'm just going around adding some trees. I did end up using this sidewalk. I've never done this, but I've seen a lot of other people do it. They put like the fire hydrant and the little sewer hole, and I just put the vent over there. And I do end up putting a truck in the front yard too. I was going to put it in the backyard, but it would have just looked funny because there's no way a truck could actually drive on that little space from the front yard to the back with that fence there. So I just put it out front. And then now I'm going around just decorating the outside or just adding some clutter. It is kind of very grown up outside. I use these weeds everywhere, all along the fence and then some in the back. And I add this little dead bush right here. And then I do end up adding on the outside, which you'll see here in a minute, I think, some cracks to the outside of the house and smudges to the window. I just felt like it kind of helped with the messy, dirty look of the house. And on the inside, I was going to add cracks to the floor too, but I just decided not to do that. But it was cute at first, and I should have kept them, but I just decided to just delete them. So you just see me going around adding some of those piles of grass along the fence line. Here I'm just adding these little, I don't even know what they are. They're from Cottage Living. It's just like random bunches of grass to kind of give some texture to the yard. And then going around with some terrain paint trying to give it some dirt on the outside and the sidewalk. And yeah, I wasn't really sure what all to add in the backyard. I didn't want to add too much, but I ended up adding that that bench that you see, and then outside by the back door I end up adding like one single garden plot, but of course I add like grass and stuff growing through it, so maybe like they abandoned their little garden, but it is back there if you download this and play it. This is on the gallery, but if you download and play it, you can always, you know, take the grass out and actually make it like they use the garden plot. But anyways, moving on to the inside, you do see that I use this wallpaper right here. Is very dirty looking and just grungy looking. And in the kitchen, I did use a lot of appliances that look run down, because at first, like I said, I was going to use a more traditional look, but I just decided to go with these kind of older appliances. I think it gives a lot of detail to the build. So what I just added down now, that is the table that I had to use. It's the lacquered up desk table. I didn't want to add a computer in here because I feel like maybe they didn't have a lot of money. And I did end up putting a trade on here. Is it the penny Pixies or something to that idea, where your Sims can find random change throughout the house? I thought that would have been fun, you know, if they didn't have a lot of money, always finding random piles of change. Maybe they're saving up, who knows. So I'm just going around right now. I wanted to place the main furniture in the house before I got carried away decorating, because I have done this before and I ended up losing track of money and I was way over my budget. Not this build, but a different build. So I wanted to make sure that I had all the necessities down in the house first, and then I will go back and use like debug and some other items. So right now I'm just working on the little cat area. They do have 2 cats. I was thinking that these cats are not well trained, so you will see me a little later on add random piles of cat feces, I guess. I know that sounds nasty, but I felt like it really gave a lot to the build with the messy cats. Just messy, there's trash everywhere, you know, they're not very clean. So I just felt like that was a little fun thing to add. It's in the boys' room too. There's some in the bathroom. It's just, I don't know. I think it was a cute idea, so added that there. Moving on to the living room, just adding some furniture here. The recliner you see me add right there, I do ended up changing it closer to the end for the chair that is in the basement treasures kit that we got. It's just a grungy looking old worn down sofa, so I added that there. Now I can't remember if I changed the couches. I think I keep this couch right here, but the basement treasures kit has a lot of stuff that would look good in this house, but this also came from that kit too. The TV's not functional, but I mean, why would you not want to add it right here? It's kind of cute. But anyway, added that there. I am going to go around and clutter some few things up in here. I don't add much to the father's room because I feel like he's not in here a lot. He's more like outside in the garage or around the town doing some random jobs. So I add a shoe rack, a dresser, and I think an ironing board and some pictures in his room. So it's not much. And I do end up changing that curtain, I think 2 for the one out of the werewolves pack, the little tarp looking curtain. I know I used a tarp in the living room. I can't remember if I do it in his room or not. But moving on to back into the main space of the house, you can just see I'm going around with these smudges. I do add some spider webs here and there. I think in the room with the stairs I add a spider web, and then there's spider webs out in the garage also. But I just felt like this gave a lot of detail to the build also, and with it being a grungy house, you know, it's not really kept up to the best that it could be. So, you know, wallpaper's falling apart, there's holes everywhere. I do add some mouse traps, like mouse holes. I add one by the cat's little area because I thought, you know, cats like chasing mice, so I mean that was a cool idea. So add that there. But yeah, back in the dad's room, I'm just kind of cluttering this up a little. Like I said, I don't add much in here. I think I add a rug in here maybe. And that's pretty much all for his room. And then in the kitchen, you see me, I just added those pots and pans. I think they're from the Horse Ranch pack, I think. I add those there, and the ones that kind of look like they're well-loved cast iron skillets. I know my family uses cast iron skillets a lot, so I feel like everybody does. I have one, but I don't know. I've never used it. I guess I'm intimidated by a cast iron skillet, but I need to start using it. They're really good. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, you need to get one. But moving on to the kitchen, I'm just cluttering up the counters a little bit. I did add these mugs that look dirty, some debug clutter items such as that little takeout box. I add a pizza box, some juice, and I think a pile of trash I add on the counter also. And I have this cute little cereal box right here. Of course, it's not functional, but it's an open cereal box and open can, so I thought, it kind of goes with that look I was trying to go for. So other than that, I'm just going around adding some random pieces of clutter throughout the house, trying to clutter this up. I add the little jar of pet treats and the little travel thing for the cats under the table. I do go back and then add the heaters, the little stand-up heaters. I think I add those to every room in the house, just trying to spend up some money. But yeah, it's really cute. I absolutely love how this build turns out. So definitely let me know down below what you think of this build. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. And it's helped me out a lot. We're almost to 250 subscribers, and that is a huge milestone for me. I am so excited. And yeah, getting back into the build, I am just going back upstairs to the boys' room, trying to use up some of the trash debug items that we have. I add this old little rundown, this old looking picture to the wall. And yeah, werewolf pack, basement treasure, and I think there was another kit that I used kind of a lot in. The werewolf pack is really good for a build like this. I just feel like all the items are kind of just not like your regular items that would use. Like the bed, for example, is like made out of pallets and doors, and the comforter is just all stitched up. They're so cute. So definitely, if you're trying to build something like this, I would suggest using the werewolf pack. It will not let you down. So here I'm just going around adding some random debug old plates and trash and a pizza box under the bed, just trying to make it look really dirty, and just like two adult guys live here who have no idea what they're going to do with themselves. So I try to do my best, and I hope you guys like it. So moving on to the outside little garage area, I'm just going around adding a lot of debug items. Most of the items in here are debug. The water heater that I use is the non-functional water heater, just because it didn't cost as much, but you can always if you download this, take it out and use the actual water heater if you want. But I just decided to use this chair and table from Eco Lifestyle. It's just something simple, not really fancy or anything like that. I felt like it fit in here pretty good. So going around, I add some pipes and more trash, and I add these tires outside, and that's pretty much it. I add some cracks, and I was wanting to add a plant in here, but I just wasn't liking how it looked. So I decided to just, take the plant out and put, whatever else in there. So I add these tires by the back door. You see me add the wood pile to the back. Maybe he's, into woodworking, or he just needs pieces of wood to fix random things around the house. So I added that there. I also do go back and add the rack with the shovel and the rake on it as well. I add a water hose to the back. And here I'm just going around adding some smudges to the windows. I've seen other simmers do this, so I thought it was kind of cute. So these are from the vampire pack. I'm pretty sure the smudges and these cobwebs are from that pack, so I just had to add it there. So I'm just going around adding some few cracks. I wanted to make this house look like it could be renovated if it wanted to. I think that would be something cool also, like renovating this house, like maybe the son's finally get a job, they move out, and the dad has his house back. So maybe I can try renovating the house. I think that would be super fun. I might do that. Let me know down below if you would like to see that. So just finishing up outside and moving back onto the inside. Add this mirror here and some of these shoes. Add some cat scratches. You can't really see them, but I added cat scratches to the lower dark piece of the wallpaper, because maybe the cats are very like angry cats and they're just scratching up everything. So just adding some last minute details to the house. Add this rack. And I don't know if it's the lighting in the house or if they originally looked like that, but those towels looked kind of dingy or dirty. So I don't know, maybe it's probably the lighting, but I added those there. I thought that was, something extra to add in the bathroom. Adding the rug in the dad's room, and really just going around just trying to spend up money, I guess, finding random things to add. I do add that lamp. That is from Werewolf, I think. I add that, and then I do go back and, like I said, change the recliner to the one from the basement kit. So just moving back up here for a second, I was trying to add things to the walls to kind of take up some space, and I did unfortunately forget to record at a certain part. So you will see that the curtains are up. Those are the ones from the werewolf pack. They're just that tarp. And then upstairs in the boys' room, I ended up adding a shelf with a stereo on it. I did use move objects for that stereo, so I'm not sure if the stereo will work, but I added it there just to kind of take up some extra space. And then I added the 2 pictures of the boys to the wall. I felt like those were his sons, I guess, and he wanted to add them. He had portraits of them, so he put them in his living room. And then adding this little vacuum cleaner in the dad's room. I don't ever use that kit or anything from the kit. Busted Dust, I think that's what it is. But I decided to use that here. So here I'm just cluttering up the living room table just a little bit more. And then moving back on to the kitchen, I'm adding some more little clutter to the counter. I add this Avena hood above, and I actually bring the cabinet down. So I use 2 of those, and then I raise the Avena hood up into that. And then I always forget this part, but don't forget you can paint your ceilings. I feel like it adds a lot to the build also, instead of those just white boring ceilings. Even though in most homes your ceilings are white, but I feel like it kind of gives a little more. So moving on to this little area up here, I just added plant. I shrink this little box down, and then I go back, and I think I had some smudges and spider web up there, because I feel like they don't really clean their house anyway. Just being real. But that is definitely an area up there they can't reach, so there's a spider web up there. Maybe it's their pet spider, who knows. So I'm just going around adding some more clutter. Adding this grocery bag over here. Maybe they just picked up their groceries and haven't put them up yet. And here I am moving on back to the backyard. This is where I add that garden plot. And I add some bushes and leaves and stuff just to kind of clutter it up. To make it look like they're not using it. They've forgot about their little garden. But that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. As always, if you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.